Mm, what is happening? All right, so today will be, let me change the name, otherwise class 3. So today will be, we had a brief session on list, if you remember, list, set, tuples and all that we discussed in very short what all things we can do. But that is not all, so it needs to be little detailed, I feel. So today's session and maybe the next session also will be focusing on all this. So our main focus will be first list, then we'll look into strings, then we'll look into tuple, then we'll look into sets, and then we'll look into dictionary, and we'll go details of each, what all things we can do, and just a second. Yeah, what all things we can do, why they are important, and why it is necessary. So we'll be looking all this stuff in details. So let's start. So a quick reminder, people who have already forgotten what is a list. List is something which is defined like this. So uh, I have a list of, I can have a list of numbers, I can have a list of objects, I can have a list of anything, let's say 6.99.2. So then if I run, it's a list. So you can check that this is a list by using this command type. It should show you that it is a list. Other terms I have already defined. If you remember, that string should be in quotes, tuple should be in different kind of brackets. So uh, I am not repeating that. I will come to that in later. Again, you can have there can be different kind of thing. You can have names, numbers, um, whatever. So this is a string type of list, and strings can there be also in the list. Again, I said it can be in single quotes or double quotes, it does not matter. And you can just simply write a, if you write a comma b, then you will get both the list together. You can just see it's not merging the list, it's just placing one list with the another list. So be careful, this is not a merge list. One more thing you should remember about list is you need not have a same type of data, you can have different type of data also. Let's say mm, India 10, USA 6. So if we run this, it's, we check what is this type, it is still a list. So you need not have similar data types for a list. You can have integer as well as string values in a given list. So remember, that is a flexibility of the list that we usually get. And so this is what you can do with a list. You can put anything together to find a list. So I will just, if you want to know everything about list, what all functions and features are there in a list, then you can just simply type help list, look into the advanced. I don't know whether it's a, yeah. So you can check what all functions are there, not only for list, anything you want to check what all functions are available, you can just check it here. But let's not go into this details. I will come to this much later. You don't need to worry about this. I'll remove this, it's not required now. So if you want to print a list, let's say, what happened, sorry, want to print a list, let's say, so print a should give you the list a. If you want to print a comma b, so then it should print your list. So remember how the print function works. It works in the similar fashion for list, there is no change. If you remember, all of you, then what happened again, okay, if you remember, there's something which I told you before. So if you put len a, it will tell you the length of the string. So you can see here 1 2 3 4 5. So len a will give me 5. If you put len of b, this is just a revision for the previous class, if you have attended, and if not, then it's a new thing. but I have gone through all this before, just revising because this is needed for the next part. So let's say this is how I find length, and then if you want to find out sum of sum in a list, then you just find out a, and then you should get the sum of all the numbers. Is it correct? You just check it. 9 10 plus 7 is 17, plus 4 is 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, so just check it. I think it's correct because computers usually don't give wrong answers. There can be wrong answers when your data types are different, or maybe you are adding strings, so be careful, you can get wrong answers also. So you can do the sum, and let's say you want to find the average. Let's say you have a list and you want to find what is the average. So it's very simple, you can just find out sum a by len of a, and this will give you the average 5.26. So this is how you can find out average using list, and this is just one example. And if you remember, I was discussing about the positions of a list. So a of 0 is 3, and a of, so it starts from 0 and just keeps on increasing. So in this direction, wait 1 second, annotate it. Withdraw, yeah, just a second. So in this direction, if you go, it increases with, starts from 0 to 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, and from in this direction if you go, it starts from -1 and then it goes in the other direction. So 1 second, yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, so remember, if I don't know if you remember or not, but in the previous class we discussed this, that this is how the list works basically. And if you go in this direction, then it will, aha, that's fine. I need to remove this now. If I remove it, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, but Swastik, but
Yeah.
have we sorted out that
Yeah, I think I sent a mail to everyone regarding the problem that you had. I will again go through it. So the problem that we had was this last number. If you want, so a of -1 should give you the last number. I will come to the problem. I
okay,
remember.
fine,
Yeah.
fine.
So a of
No issue.
-1 is the last number here. You can see 9.9. So this is how it is. I request everyone to turn the mic off unless you have a question. So yeah. Um, so this is how we have defined it. Now let's say uh, a of -2, if you go through it, then it will give you 6.9. So it's going in the reverse direction. So remember that this direction, it starts from 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. This direction, if you start -1 -2 -3 -4 and -5, that's how it works. Now we had a confusion in the previous class. The confusion was, how do we select a segment? So if you write a of 1 comma 4 or 1 comma 2, that means it will so what it basically does is that when you put this number, so it will start the index. So this is 0, as I have discussed before. This is 0, this is 1. So when you write something in this format, this is the first starting point, so starting index is 1, and this is the ending index -1. So the format is basically defined as a starting point, comma, then you give a colon, and then ending point -1. So this is how it is actually defined in Python. So let's say if I want to do 1 comma 2 3, then it should give me 4 and 2.5 and 4. Now remember, if I want to print from the beginning, you do not need to uh, write 0. You can just simply leave it blank, and then till how much you want, just mention it, and then it will give you. So you can see that it's starting from 3, 2.5 and 4.0. So in, Yeah, so this is how it works. 0 1 2. So since the number is 3 here, so it will give you up to 2. So 0 1 2, that's how it works. Now coming to the negative index, which we discussed in the previous class. Let's say you want to have a number starting from, okay, so if you give this blank, then you should get the entire list. Remember, this is how a list is defined. So this is all, take from starting to ending. Now let's say you want to go till the second last element, then you put -1 and then you get 6.9. Let's say you want to go to the third last element, then you put -2. So this is how you traverse through the list. So it's possible to go from any place. It's possible to chop the list as you wish. So I will not go through all the exercise. uh, yeah, I will not go through all the exercise. You take a list, not a small list, you take a big list and keep performing this operation. Try chopping the list into I've shown you some examples how to chop the list. So basically this means that this is the entire list that you get, and then using values here and here, positive and negative, you can chop the list. So keep practicing of chopping the list. That will help you to understand this list concept, because with list you can do a lot of stuff. Now coming to another function, this is a small function. So max of a means it will give you what is the maximum value in this list. Mean of a will give you what is the minimum value in this list. So this is how you do it. And if you want to find out the index of a particular number, let's say, then you can find out a dot index, and then if you put it, let's say 2.5, then you should get the index of that number. So it's 1. Let's say you put the index of 4, then you should get it 2. So this is how it works. Let's say you give something which is not even there, then what should you get? Nothing. So 7 is not in the list. So this is how indexing works. Suppose you want to know, but remember, you can have a question, what if the number appears twice in the list? So that is also a good question. Nobody asked, but I will still show you. So let's say you take d equals to, let's say there's a number which appears twice. So 336.9 comma 3. No, I'll put the 3 somewhere here. Yeah, and then if you put it like d dot index, then you put 3, then run it, then you get 0. So basically whenever you are finding index or whatever in a list, it will always point the location of the first element. Even if the element is repeating, in that case you have to deal it with some other difference, like some other techniques. You cannot do it directly if there is repetitive element in a list. So be careful with that. So for one assignment for you all will be, find out the index of the maximum and minimum number in a list. I want one line code, not a mark down. I just want a one line state. Like here I have written d dot index or something. I just want a one line code. You keep trying, send me if you have any doubt or if you have any confusion, then I will show. But please do the things which I'm saying you, because just reading books and looking at the videos won't help you. You have to keep practicing. That's important. So just try it out on your own. You should be able to do it. Some more features of the list which I will show you. Um, if you use this reverse function, then it will reverse your list. So you can see it has reversed your list. One thing which I missed at the beginning of the class is that see, there are different data types, right? String, list, tuples, set, dictionary. So there are different data types. This is not data type, but there are different ways you can keep the data. List is something that is immutable. immutable. What do I mean by sorry, mutable? What do I mean by mutable? Means something that I can change. So I can change a list. I can put a value here to there to there. So I can change the position of any element or position of anything, or I can add something or remove something from a list. That's why list is called a mutable thing. Something that is mutable means you can change, whereas if something is immutable, like sets and tuple, they are mostly immutable. So in those cases you cannot change or make changes much in them. So now you can ask a question, though it's always better to use something that you can change, right? Why then we should use sets and tuples? We should always use list. What was the necessity of creating two separate subclasses of this thing? So things are that sometimes some values are actually fixed. Let's say gravitational constant, value of pi. There are some values which are always constant. So in those cases, if the user is doing some kind of computation and if by mistake something happens, uh, then if you are using a list, it may change, but those are like universal values, so we want them to keep fixed. So that's why we use sets mostly in such cases where we don't want the user to make any changes in the particular set of values. In those cases we go for sets or tuples or some advanced data types, whereas if we want to make the thing flexible, then we use this list. So remember, once I have made the reverse, it has reverse, but I have lost the original string. There is no way that I can get back the original. Only one way that you can get back the original is re-reverse it. So then you can see if you a dot reverse again, and then so this was the original string that we started with. 3 2.5 something something like that. Yeah, so remember, whenever you are making any operation or performing any operation, just make a copy of the list and then perform the operation. That's what I would suggest you. So this is what the reverse function is. And now let's say, no, I'll just make something b is equals to a. So yeah, yeah, so now b should be the same as a. So yeah, 3 2.5. Okay, so now some more other function I will show you. So sorting. So basically sorting means, as you know what sorting means, it's the same thing here, not anything different. So you just sort the list either ascending or descending order. So I will show you two ways of sorting, and there are differences. So your task will be to find out what is the difference. I'm not telling what is the difference. You try on your own, then find out and tell me what is the difference. So now first is that a dot.
Sorry, Shastik. Difference between what I missed? There was a.
Okay, so I will show you two techniques of sorting, and I will not be saying what is the difference. You try
Okay,
it on your own. So yeah.
fine, fine.
So first is a dot sort, and if you sort it, then find out what is a. So you can see it has sorted in the ascending order, right? So now let's say I want to sort it in reverse order. So a dot sort, and then reverse. Wait, did I make spelling mistake? REVERSE, right? Yeah, true. In this case it should sort in the reverse order. Yeah, so you can see that your sorting is in the reverse order from descending to ascending. So this is one way that you sort. The other way of sorting is you use the command sorted, sorted, and then you put a. So you can see that this is sorted 2.53 4.0 6.9. So this is the same as this, or if you want to do the reverse way, a comma reverse, then you get it in the reverse way. So now my question is, why, like, what is the difference between dot sort? So I'll write the question. What is the dot sort and dot sorted method? So if you genuinely try at your home, using these two commands, you should be able to get the answer. That's what I'm kind of thing confident. So let's come to, okay, too much of numbers. Now let's come to string. So okay, I just ran that equals to b, so I'll rerun it. So yeah, so b is this: Swastik, Ankit, Ravi, Raju. All right, if you use the sort command here, uh, sorted here, and then use b, then you can see it's sorted. So a is first, then raj is second, then rav is third, and then swastik. So this is how your strings can be sorted also, right? Let's say now, if I remember what was c was this. uh, uh, okay, somebody posted something, I'll come to that later. Sorted bracket c. So if you do this, what should you get? Type error. So here it's not supporting that. It's like there are different instances. So one is a string, the other is number, so I cannot sort it. So another assignment for you will be to find out, is it possible that I sort this? Okay, my question is, my input is this, is it possible that I can get output as this? This is my question. You don't need to answer. I'm not asking you to solve it now. You try it. Can I get output for this? Okay, so this is the question, and you. So my question is clear, I guess, that. Yeah, so this is the question, I guess. You should be able to, if you try it out once. Okay, next day we can discuss. If somebody remember, again I'm saying, if you should use Python 3, don't use Python 2, because Python 2 in some cases you may get different results compared to what we are doing here. So just be careful with that. Don't use Python 2, use Python 3, remember. Okay, that's correct. A dot short is not working. I need to check your case, Mritika. I don't know what is your case. Just send me a screenshot. I will get that. Of course, there is an error, because as in the first class we discussed, Python is a object-oriented language, and it has few features which you people might have studied or not. I don't know. So one of the feature is that it has polymorphism, and so a code working in a particular computer, it is machine independent. No matter whichever machine you do, the code structure or code format will not change. So basically, yes, there is a mistake in that. So you send me a screenshot, I will check your results. So yeah, that is my question. You try to find out whether you can get that or not. That's a good thing. Let's say, okay, so let's do this now. 5, let's say now we have numbers 56, 98, 54, 76. Did I make any mistake? Why is 54 in green in this? Yeah, I did not put it there. Okay. So now I want to short this, or shorted this. Now, okay. Okay, so I got a notification for upgrade. In case the meeting gets over, join with the same link. Okay, the link that I have shared with you. All right. So this is shorted, and then you can see. All right. All right. Now you can see that it's shorted, but it should not short. That's what I was trying to show you, but somehow it got shorted. Anyways, when you are using strings, don't expect your results to be shorted. It's not the case. I don't know, like there's something else which is happening which I am unable to understand, but usually do not get shorted. There are cases which I have tested myself and do not expect it to be shorted. So in that cases, if you are using strings with numbers, then don't expect any results that happens with this thing, mm, with normal numbers. But here in this case it's getting shorted magically, so I don't know why. There are cases where it will not be shorted. Anyways, that's a good. So yeah, that's the thing. So remember, I'll just make a comment here: use only for numbers if you want to short the numbers, not for strings. Or maybe they have modified it now, I don't know, but usually it's not safe or it's not recommended to use the things that are made for the strings to be implied as numbers. Anyways, so we have a is this. Now let's say some other functions I will show you. So one is adding and removing. So I will just show you this and mark down. So how to add and remove in a list? As I said, lists are mutable, so you should be able to add and remove stuff. So you just write a dot append. So append will add something at the end of the list. So if you put a dot append 10 and then write it down, and then you get it like this. So this number will be present at the end of your list. This is how you get the append function. Then let's say the same you can do it for the strings also. It's like, let's say I will do with b. So b dot append, let's say I don't remember. Let me see who all are there in the group. Somebody, yeah, okay. Let's say I want to add Shudhesh. Now I don't know if your name spelling is wrong, then I'm sorry. B dot append, and then if you put B, then you get the name at the last. So this is how you can append it. Now my question is that again, you try it out. Is it possible? Is it possible to put a value at a particular place? Is it possible to do that? Just try it out. It's again your task. You should try it on your own. So just I want to put this Sudeshna after, in between Ankit and Ravi. So is it possible or not? Just try to find it out. Keep trying, and it should be one line code, not a big just one line. It should be able to do it one line or maximum two line. Just try it out. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, so again, so this is how adding is. And how do I remove? Removing is simple: a dot pop. So if you just write pop, so let's say I want to remove 9.9 from the list. So if I run it, okay, all right, there's some problem. All right, the pop works only for integers. I'm sorry for that. So let's say your list has an integer set. Only in those case pop will work. Sorry, again I forgot that to mention. So a dot pop, let's say 2. Then what happened? Okay, then you type a, and then you should get the list without 8. So 2 does not mean the number 2 here. 2 means the index position at 2. So 0, 1, 2, remember. Okay, so here I give the index position, not the number. So once you give the index position, then it will kick you out of the list. So now you can have a question: not everything will be in integer. How do I do it for float? So that also will come. So there are other things also that you can use it. So okay, before going to that, if you use a dot pop, just empty bracket and then run it, so then it will automatically remove the last element. You do not need to mention the value, it will just simply remove the last element from the list. So let's say you want to remove the last two element, simply. So now you see that it has only 2 and 5. So if you put a dot pop, it will simultaneously remove the last elements from the list. And then if you put the index of a particular number, then it will remove that thing. So this is the thing. There's one more kind of uh, function like similar to pop, which helps you to do the same task. So let's, all right, the a is changed now. I'll rerun a. All right. Yeah, so there's another is a dot remove. I'm not sure whether this works for integer or not. I did it long time back. So 2.5. All right, so let's see what happens. All right, yeah, so a dot remove works for integers and pop, sorry, floating point numbers, and the other thing works only for integers. So you can use the remove function when you are dealing with floating points or anything, and you can use pop when you are using for integers. So let's see if the remove should work for anything. Let me recheck this once more. All right, so u dot remove, and then you just put here 8, and then run it. Yeah, so the remove function works for anything, whether it is integer or not, but pop works only for this thing. So the meeting is going to be over by less than a minute. I request all of you to rejoin with the same link which I have shared with you. And one mystery thing is that that link is going to be valid throughout the entire class. So just I have not told you. So that's a recurring meeting link. So you do not just save the link somewhere. And for all the classes, we have the same link actually. If somebody realizes, that is good, but that's the thing which I'm saying. So yeah, it's going to be over by a minute. So yeah. All right, till here, if anyone has any question, he can ask. Then we'll start the next part of it. So yeah, go ahead. We have 40 seconds left. Anyone have any questions, or no one have any question?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, why do we use reverse equals true? Like when we are reversing the list. So why
Okay.
do we need to write true?
Yeah, you need to write true, because then it will so here also, if you are seeing the short or something like that, reverse true, see, by default short function has reverse equals to false, right? So that is the default value. So when you are saying reverse equal to true, it will reverse your list. So that's why we're putting reverse equal to true. If you do not write reverse equals to true, then you will get in ascending to descending order. But sorry, if you are not writing anything in reverse, then you will get in ascending order.